Hey guys, how are you guys doing on this fine, beautiful day? Uh, for anyone that's new to the channel, last week I did a video on the DPS that is the most fun to play when leveling, because that's something that I feel like a lot of people are, or they will get into leveling and then be like, wow, this is a boring class to play, and they never finish it. So, like, I figured it might not be a bad idea to do something to help those people out to know what they should level, based on just what's gonna be the most fun. Like what's gonna be uh, like the easiest to play, uh, uh, but also like super fun to play. Because sometimes if it's too hard to play, like if it's too hard to do what you need to do, it gets exhausting. Which some people, they like that, but like for me at least, like I want something where um, I can do everything quickly, uh, have a little bit of fun at least, with the class. But like the most important thing is like, is it quick? Can I do quests quick? Can I burn through dungeons? Is it hard for me to hold aggro when I do dungeons? At least for this tier list. But yeah, so this tier list is specifically for tanks. We did DPS last week. We're doing tanks this week. We're gonna do healers next week. Um, so yeah, these are the tanks that are the most fun to level. Also in the future, we're gonna do some other videos talking about stuff like best races for each class for PvP. Um, that stuff is really, really helpful, I think, for a lot of people, and I've had a few people in my community ask for that specifically. Um, but yeah, so like also like we're up to like 84 views on our first video, which is crazy to me, because like it's my first video I ever put out, and I've got that many views. That's awesome. Um, but anyways, let's get into it. Uh, we're gonna start out with sorry, Havoc. We're gonna start out with Vengeance Demon Hunter. So Vengeance Demon Hunter, it has a lot of things going for it. One is the mobility is insane. Like it's a Demon Hunter, so they have the double hop. Plus they have like they can glide anywhere, which is so nice for questing. If you remember from my last video, I talked about how that was so helpful for Havoc and why it went so far up in the list because you could just jump off a mountain and glide all the way down. Like that's sick. Um, yeah, so like I think just being on the glide, which really helps with questing, how much mobility it has, and how tanky it is. It is ridiculously tanky early, because of the fact that like as soon as you go into your demonic form, and actually even before then, you just heal so much. So it's like impossible to die. It felt like when I was questing, I'd pull like six, seven, eight, nine, 10 things at once, uh, and I would just kill them all because nothing could kill me. So I think because of that, because it's super fun to play, super mobile, it never dies, and it's actually like a rather fun like rotation. I think this is a I think this is a yeah I think it's an S tier. I think it's that fun and it's that good. I mean, there's not that many classes that just feel that much fun to play, but yeah, uh, for sure Vengeance does. So the next one on our list is the Blood DK. So the Blood DK, this one's a little hard for me because Blood DK has a lot of really good things going for it, but it's so insanely immobile. So like doing dungeons is pretty slow, because the fact that you have to like literally walk everywhere, uh, and that's not great. So dungeon speed is slower than any other tank on this list, uh, by a pretty large margin too. Uh, it does have really good AOE and it does heal itself a lot, which does make it still fun, and it's still a fun class to play. And like I said, this tier list is for the most fun to play, and it's still pretty fun. It just those bad or like the slowness and like the low mobility makes like dungeon or like spamming dungeons a lot more difficult because like you're just gonna be really slow. Um, and so I think because the class is still fun, but because of those downfalls, it's gonna go right to B. Um, it might even go to C. I think B is fine though. I think it's fun enough with like your abilities to like never die. So if like your healer dies, it doesn't really matter. You know, you can just kind of heal yourself in most situations in a dungeon, especially low levels. Yeah. Guardian Druid. Now, this thing, or Guardian has everything going for it when it comes to mobility, because you can go kitty form, you can go travel form in certain situations, like all that type of stuff. But it's so boring to play. You press three buttons for like damage, and then have like a few defensives that you toggle. But like, I tried tanking as Guardian, and it just really boring. Now, like super high level, you get a lot more buttons, so it's not too bad. But it takes so long to get to a point where it's actually fun to play. And if all you care about is just, oh, I want to survive and I want to pull like do big pulls, I don't care if it's engaging. That's great, but that's not what this tier list is about, my dudes. So yeah, I think Guardian Druid goes right into C tier. The mobility is the only reason why it doesn't go to D tier. Um, yeah, like the mobility is like literally the only reason why. Um, Now Brewmaster Monk with the staggering effect being like the way that you don't take damage. Uh, it's really engaging in that way. It's not terribly easy to get used to though. It takes a little while to get used to. And I think because it has a higher skill cap, it's going to be a little bit harder for someone who just wants to uh like get to know this class and be able to like level with immediately. Like if you understand how like the staggering works, but that's great. But if you're newer to the game, this one's gonna be a little bit more difficult for sure. Um, I still think it's fun. Has really really good mobility. Um, it does a ton of damage, which is good. Very good AOE damage. It's pretty tanky, so you don't really have to worry about dying as much. But I think because of the fact that it's pretty hard to play, and like I tried it a few times, and like it just wasn't my bag of tea. Uh, but I still think it's fun enough where it can be in the B tier with the Blood DK. All right, now Prot Paladin. Oh boy, Prot Paladin. This is a hard one to judge because it's so good and it's really fun to play. Like it has a really really fun play style. It's rather immobile, but it has enough mobility along with super fun abilities. Everything looks so beautiful, like as a prop paladin, that I feel like this is a pretty high up there. Like you can go like the hammers thing where you spin the hammers around you, which is really really cool. You have like these hammers flying around you. You have Avenger Shield. Um, you have like Consecrate. You have like so many different AOE things as well, which is also really nice because pulling as a prop paladin uh, is so easy because like you just throw out Avenger Shield and you're good. And then of course once you hit level 50, um, I don't know what prop paladins are going right now for their covenant. Uh, I would assume that they're going Venthyr for the extra damage and healing. I think that's better for prop paladins. I think Divine Toll is also great as well, which in dungeons I think Divine Toll is better probably because it's up way more often, and also it throws out a fucking ton of shields, which is crazy. It just like, you know. But anyways, this is about leveling. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. Um, but yeah, like when it comes to leveling, I think prop paladin's a pretty easy A tier. It's not quite S tier. I think if it had a lot more like if it had a lot more mobility, it would definitely be there. And I think in dungeons it might be okay with its mobility because I'm thinking of the steed. Um, yeah, I think with the steed and how long it might take to kill everything, the cooldown might be coming up fast enough where you have your steed up always. Because as long as you go with like I think there's a talent for two stacks. Maybe that's just normal. I thought it was a talent though. Now I'm curious, but I'll have to look into that more. But yeah, like I think either way, it's still an A tier because of how fun it is, how beautiful everything is, and it's just a great spec in general. Um, Now, Prot Warrior, you might be thinking, oh well, Eddie put Blood DK in B tier because of not mobility, But if you're a good warrior, you have lots of mobility because you have heroic leap. Or you probably go double charge. So like you can go very far and have great mobility, and you have some of the best defensive cooldowns of any of the classes. Um, to make it so you just don't die. Now you don't heal that much off of hits, and pretty much all like he heals off of hits. Like Prod Palette has really good heals. You can heal. You can pretty much heal. There's really good heals here. There's like a pretty okay heal, but Prod Palette or Prot Warrior doesn't have a great way to heal itself. But it's a very fun and engaging spec for sure. Um, I think I think because of because of how fun it actually is to play and how soon you get a lot of your really core abilities, I think it goes into A tier just in front of Blood DK. Like Blood DK is really good. It just like I said, it has nearly no mobility. Um, and warriors have heroic leap, they have charge. I think you get heroic leap at like 30 though, so that's kind of late. Yeah, I think this is like a if I had a B plus thing here, I'd probably put him B plus, just because of the fact that you don't get heroic leap until pretty late. Um, yeah, I like this list. I think it's pretty good. Like if we were going by how good a spec is, like like best tanks to level like by power, I think Guardian Druid would go much higher. But because it's like a Snorefest, like I figured that like there's no way I can put it anywhere besides C tier. Uh, um, Yeah, and I think if you want to level a tank and you're looking for a tank that is still pretty damn good late game too, I think Vengeance is like your choice, for sure. Now, I will say when it comes to super late game, Prot Warrior and Guardian Druid are like the best. Like they're like the strongest right now, with Havoc right there, even Win or even Brewmasters right there. Blood DK unfortunately is pretty bad, um, and Prop Paladin as well. Like these two are not very good late game right now. Like you don't really see either of these two tanks ever in raids. But yeah, Brewmaster's pretty good if you know how to use stagger. Prop or Prop Warrior is like immortal and it does a ton of damage. Uh, Vengeance DK is actually immortal. It feels like, and then yeah, Guardian Druid is like pretty close to it. So yeah, so I would say like this is my list for the most fun. But if you want to make sure that you can play something after leveling, um, I would say definitely Vengeance, DK, Warrior, or Guardian Druid would be my options. I know this is gonna be a Snorefest, but if you really want a really strong bear tank, it is very good late game. It just pressing three buttons, which one being like Ravage or whatever the hell it's called over and over again, seems pretty boring. I guess that's four buttons because uh, you have what's it called that you use, a bash I think it is, that you use as your rage dumper. Uh, but yeah, so like it's not too bad I guess, but it's still like I said, it's still uber boring to level as. Um, yeah, so that's my list. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree in the comments, and it's totally fine if you disagree. I'd love to chat with you guys about why you disagree about something or why you agree about something. Um, and like like I'm open, like I'm always open. Like like this is the list from my perspective. Like I did not have fun playing Guardian Druid, but you might have a lot of fun. Like maybe you like the fact that it's only a few buttons, and that's totally cool. That's the greatest thing about these tier lists is it's a way for everyone to get involved with the community and kind of chat about this stuff and see what people like because like we're all different people, so we all have different ideas. That's perfectly fine. Also, put in the comments uh, if you like something or if you like me to do some type of tier list or some type of other content as well about WoW. I'd more than love to do that. Um, w- um, Also, if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. It would help me out so much. Just because it gives me, every like, it'll put me higher and higher up the list, for people to watch the video, which I think is why we get so many views on our first video. I'd love to get over 100 views. I think if we get over 100 views on this video, uh, I'll try to do like send out a special video. Maybe some like surprise tier list of the week or something like that. Uh, something kind of cool that would be cool to do. But yeah, just let me know what other type of videos you guys want. Next week I'm gonna do healers though, but the week after that is kind of open right now. So just let me know what you guys want to see, and I'll be more than happy to do it. All right, thank you guys. I'll see you later.